Hi friends, it's good to see you. I can't really see you, can I? But I'm sure imagining where you are and that you're out here and that you're starting to get ready for all the fun things that are happening in these next few weeks. So thanks for being with us. Today we're going to talk about messengers. And what do you think a messenger is? What does a messenger do? A messenger brings news, right? To get information to people. So if you think back way a long time ago, like even way before I was even born, which was a really long time ago, the way they sent messages out and got news to people was there would be people ringing the bells saying, "Hear ye, hear ye," and they would tell the news of what's going on. They'd be on the corners or walking through the towns ringing the bells, "Hear ye," and they'd share the news. And then as time went on, we got newspapers, right? And then you would have kids who were selling the newspapers on the corner saying, "Extra, extra, read all about it." And they would tell one of the headlines that was in the newspaper or whatever. So that's how it was when I was younger. But now, how do you get the news? How do we find out about things? What's the messengers now? What do you think? We probably still have the paper, right? The newspaper, but you don't have people on the corner saying, "Extra, extra, read all about it." But we have the paper. And maybe we watch TV, and so we can have local news or national news or world news, so we find out about all kinds of things. And maybe we could use the internet, and that we could get news and the message gets told. And of course, there's a good old phone, right? We get messages on our phone and information gets shared. So there's all kinds of ways now, isn't there, to share the message and share what's going on compared to so long ago, right? When you only had one piece of information and it took a long time to get the news. Now we have all kinds of ways to find out the news, and we find it out right away from all over the world, right? Yeah. So let's read a story about a messenger that Jesus talks about, okay? All right, so the messenger, this is from John the Baptist. John was an unusual man. You might remember him. We've talked about him before. He had lots of hair and a long beard. His clothes looked like his face. They too were furry and hairy. His clothes were made of camel's hair, held together with a leather belt. John ate strange foods, including wild honey. And do you remember what the other thing was he ate? Honey and locusts. Ooh, right? Yeah, he ate funny things, honey and locusts. Kind of a grasshopper. Yuck. God gave John an important job. His job was to tell people that Jesus was coming and help them get ready to believe what Jesus would teach them. John knew the things Jesus would tell people were the most important things in the world. When he taught people, John stood by the river and yelled out, "Hey, all of you, tell God you're sorry for your sins. Turn your life around and act in ways that are good and honest." Then he would turn to another group and shout, "Are you listening? This is important. Jesus is coming. He is the Messiah. He will save all of us." Day after day, John continued teaching, preaching, and crying out so people would listen. Many people came to hear what John had to say about Jesus. There were rich and poor people, honest and dishonest people, nice and not so nice people. Some people listened to John. Some people didn't. Some people said, "That man must be a messenger from God." Some said, "He is really odd. I'm getting out of here." Many people believed the message John told. Those people said, "I am sorry for my sins. I want God to forgive me." To each, John said, "God does forgive you." He baptized those people in the river. The people started calling him John the Baptist. John the Baptist had done a good job. The people were ready to hear the message Jesus would bring. So John the Baptist was a special messenger of God, wasn't he? And he was telling people Jesus was coming. Jesus is coming. Remember that? When is Jesus coming? Just a couple weeks, right? And how is Jesus coming now? As a baby in the manger, right? Yeah, we're waiting. We're waiting for Jesus to come, and we're telling everybody that Jesus is coming, the baby is coming. The baby will be born. So, John was a good messenger to share the word of Jesus, right? Who else could be a good messenger for Jesus? Maybe you guys could be messengers for Jesus, and you could share the good news that Jesus is coming, that the baby was going to be born in the manger. You think you could do that? Could you be a messenger for Jesus? A messenger for God? To tell the story? Because you know the story. You know Jesus is coming. We're waiting. It's what we're waiting for right now, right? For the baby in the manger. So think about that this week, and think about ways you could be a messenger to share God's love and to share that Jesus is coming. That's the most important thing that's happening these next weeks, right? That Jesus is coming to be born in the manger. So think about that. Think about ways you can be a messenger and share about God's love. And remember, God is with you always. Remember that? Okay, so this week, go out and be a messenger and share the good news that Jesus is coming. We'll see you next week. Bye.